For the past few weeks, Chelsea have been edging closer and closer to signing the highly rated Brighton midfielder Moises Caicedo. Personal terms will not and never have been an issue, however the two clubs have been butting heads, trying to find an agreement for the final price. Chelsea want to spend no more than £80 million, whilst Brighton feel their man is valued more towards the £100 million mark, with Declan Rice's move to Arsenal setting the benchmark. If a deal cannot be agreed, Chelsea will have to look elsewhere, and if reports are to be believed, Real Madrid have just put their French defensive midfielder and former Chelsea target Aurelian Tchouameni up for sale for around £70 million, with Los Blancos attempting to raise funds for a potential move for Kylian Mbappe. In this video, I'll be taking a look into the careers, the performance metrics, and most importantly, determining who is best out of the two for Chelsea. Starting off with Moises Caicedo. Caicedo was born on the 2nd of November in Santo Domingo, Ecuador, an area described as dangerous for its prevalence for corruption and gang violence. Moises Caicedo needed an outlet, something to strive for, a gleam of hope in this desolate environment. That hope being the escape of football. He joined his first footballing academy at the age of 13, that being the Ecuadorian Serie A side Independiente de Valle. After 5 years in the academy, Caicedo would make his official debut in October of 2019 against LDU Quito in a 1-0 win, kicking off his career on a high. Moises Caicedo would spend a year and a half playing professionally for Independiente de Valle, making 25 appearances before embarking on the next step of his promising career, signing for Brighton and Hove Albion on the 1st of February 2021. In his first few months with Brighton, Moises Caicedo was used sparingly, making his debut for the Seagulls against Cardiff City in the second round of the League Cup, with the game ending in Brighton's favour as Moises Caicedo picked up an assist. It was decided Caicedo needed more minutes than the amount he was receiving at Brighton to reach his full potential, and so the Ecuadorian would spend a season on loan with Belgian Pro League side Beerschot. The midfielder would only make 12 appearances, however, before returning early to his parent club as midfield deficiencies forced the Seagulls' hand. Since returning to Brighton, Moises Caicedo has emerged as one of their most valuable assets in terms of what they offer on the pitch and what they could potentially bring to the club in terms of monetary value. In the 22-23 January transfer window, the Ecuadorian was heavily linked with the move away to Arsenal, with Caicedo going on to post a now deleted statement on Instagram expressing how proud he was to bring a record fee for Brighton. This, at the time, seemed to confirm a deal had been agreed. However, the move failed to materialise and Caicedo continued to play and wow crowds at the MX for the remainder of the season. Since then, it has been Chelsea that has placed their names at the forefront to become Moises Caicedo's newest club, following the departures of N'Golo Kante, Jorginho, Kovacic and Ruben Loftus-Cheek. But why is he so sought after? Well, Moises Caicedo has established himself as one of the better midfielders in the prestigious Premier League. Tifo Football put out an incredible video going over Moises Caicedo as a player, what he's good at, and why Chelsea want to sign him. In short, Caicedo is very press resistant. He is able to either turn players, opening up a space to move into and start the attack, or make quick passes to null and void pressing efforts from the opposition. In the Tifo breakdown, the point was made Moises Caicedo would allow Enzo Fernandez to roam free high up the field as the Ecuadorian would inherit the majority of the defensive responsibilities, and I agree. Previously, Enzo Fernandez has been forced to play a more defensive role as the Argentinian is the most capable player in the Chelsea midfield who was actually fit and ready to fill that position. Earlier in the summer window, Chelsea made great strides and nearly landed the Sporting defensive midfielder Manuel Ugarte, who I have covered on the channel and applauded on many occasions. PSG would end up stealing the Uruguayan from under our noses, and so the search for a defensive partner for Enzo continued. In terms of metrics, Moises Caicedo averages 2.87 tackles per 90 and 1.61 interceptions per 90, ranking him in the 87th and 89th percentile respectively compared to other midfielders. Caicedo is also a player with excellent passing statistics, emerging as a key player in De Zerbi's Brighton setup. Caicedo averages over 64 attempted passes per game with an 88.5% pass completion rate, making him highly competent on the ball. For the record, Caicedo is still only 21 years old. The majority of footballers don't reach their prime until they are in their late 20s. Moises Caicedo is certainly brimming with potential. The only real issue I can potentially see is Moises Caicedo isn't a traditional sitting six. He likes to press up the field, intercepting the ball using his whole body, being a thorn in everyone's side. Hell, at some points this season he was played as a fullback due to his unique versatility. If he were to mistime a tackle or to lose a man, this could leave Chelsea in a vulnerable position. Their main defensive weapon in the midfield has been caught out high up the pitch, leaving a rather substantial gap for passes to be made into, worrying the defence and supporters alike. Another potential weakness to Caicedo's game is his aerial ability. Standing at 5'10", Caicedo isn't naturally efficient at winning headers, around 1.06 per 90, ranking him in the 64th percentile compared to other midfielders. Moises Caicedo signed a new contract with Brighton up to 2027, meaning the Seagulls stand in the best position possible to demand a high fee. And a high fee is exactly what they are demanding, £100 million. Brighton feel in a market where Jude Bellingham, Declan Rice and Enzo Fernandez all carry heavy fees, so does their man. Although there are rumours De Zerbi and Moises Caicedo entered a pact allowing the Ecuadorian man to leave in the summer, this doesn't change the fact Brighton will squeeze every last penny out of the club who attempt to sign him. It is unlikely Caicedo will be the only signing made this summer, as the goalkeeper and the attack both need to be addressed, and so Chelsea may deem the £100 million price tag to be far too high. If that is the case, there is another, potentially better, option available for a cheaper, still premium price, who Chelsea actually held great interest in before the bully takeover. I'm talking about Real Madrid's Aurelian Tchouameni. Tchouameni was born on the 27th of January 2000 in Rouen, France. He joined his first footballing academy in 2006 before moving to the Bordeaux Academy in 2011, where he would transition from academy prospect to professional footballer. Tchouameni would make his official debut in a 1-0 victory against Ventspils in the Europa League in July of 2018. It wouldn't be long after before he would net his first goal, again in the Europa League, but this time against Mariupol. The game ended 3-1 in Bordeaux's favour. All in all, the French defensive midfielder would make a total of 25 league appearances for Bordeaux before signing for AS Monaco on the 29th of January 2020 on a 4.5-year contract. Tchouameni would spend 2.5 seasons at Monaco, picking up the attention from many prestigious clubs, including Chelsea. Chelsea had in fact been admirers of Tchouameni ever since his days playing for Bordeaux's academy. However, circumstances surrounding Chelsea's sanctioning and the takeover left Chelsea out of control of the situation, and it would be Real Madrid who would land the highly talented Frenchman for a deal worth around €100 million, with add-ons taken into account. Since signing for Real Madrid, Tchouameni has failed to really establish himself as an undroppable force in the Los Blancos midfield. With the arrival of Jude Bellingham and Real Madrid's needs to raise sufficient funds to sign Kylian Mbappe from PSG in a deal worth well over €200 million, it has been reported either one of Aurelian Tchouameni or Federico Valverde could be sold for around £80 to £100 million. So we know who he is, but how good is he really? Well, to put it plainly, Tchouameni is a brilliant, and I mean brilliant, defensive midfielder. Unlike Moises Caicedo, who plays in a variety of roles, Tchouameni is a classic out-and-out number 6. His defensive metrics are through the roof. The Frenchman is ranked in the 99th percentile for interceptions at 1.98 per 90, and the 92nd for clearances at 1.87 per game, and the 89th for aerial duels, one at 1.91 per 90. All very impressive. Tchouameni is an imposing figure, standing around 6'2", meaning he is more physically capable of competing and winning physical duels on the ground and in the air. This will of course aid in his adaptation to Premier League football if Chelsea were to sign him. Tchouameni isn't just a defensive rock, he is also a confident playmaker from the back. He ranks in the 95th and 99th percentile for passes attempted and passes completed, meaning he is trusted often with the ball during Real Madrid's build-up play and makes very little mistakes when playing out from the back. He isn't bad either when it comes to creating chances, ranking in the 75th percentile for progressive passes and assists, meaning although his main role is to sit deeper to allow players like Toni Kroos and Luka Modric to create, he is still capable of providing key creativity for his side. On the ball, he is as cool as a cucumber. His maturity in terms of ability and physical prowess is quite remarkable. He is certainly a player who deserves to be an immediate name on the team sheet, which is something that has been unattainable during his time at Real Madrid under Carlo Ancelotti. On paper, Tchouameni takes the edge over Caicedo, although both players are performing to a very high standard. In terms of experience, Tchouameni also wins this battle. Playing in the Champions League for Real Madrid and playing in the World Cup final for France is not an area of context which should be overlooked. Going back to prices, it really does seem to me Brighton will not back down from their £100 million price tag for Moises Caicedo, especially with Chelsea outright denying any possibility for Colwill to be used in a deal or be sold to anyone at any price. On the other hand, Real Madrid do need to sell if they want to land Kylian Mbappe. Chelsea already have a good relationship with Real Madrid, working together for deals including Mateo Kovacic, Thibaut Courtois, Eden Hazard, Antonio Rudiger and Arjen Robben. Also, for personal reasons, I do not want to give Brighton another penny. They have swindled us for Graham Potter, for Marc Cucurella, and are now trying to do the same thing for Moises Caicedo. They took some of our most promising players such as Billy Gilmore and Tariq Lamptey and made disrespectfully low bids for Colwell considering how good he really is. Both Moises Caicedo and Aurelian Tchouameni are excellent players, however I feel a move for Tchouameni would be the wiser option. He is more experienced, slightly cheaper, more physically capable in the air, and is a sitter, meaning Enzo Fernandez can press as high up the pitch as he wants. Tchouameni will always be where he needs to be. One final point to be made is what Pochettino really looks for in his defensive midfielders. When he was at Spurs, Eric Dyer was his main man in that number 6 role. Dyer would slot in between the centre-backs pairing at times, playing as a half centre-back, whilst his midfield partner, Moussa Dembele, would move higher up the field, knowing Dyer would stay back and do the dirty work in defence. This, I feel, is a role more suited to Aurelian Tchouameni than it is for Moises Caicedo, who has been used really as a box-to-box player, similarly to how N'Golo Kante was used at Chelsea. And for that reason, out of the two, I'm picking Tchouameni. So that's about it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Do you agree with me? Who would you sign if you were Todd Boehly? What videos do you want to see from me in the future? I'll be reading every comment and responding to as many as I can. Make sure you hit the like button as it helps share the video to more wonderful people such as yourselves, and subscribe to the channel with bell notifications on so you never miss an upload. I've been The Quick Take and I'll catch you in the next one. See you later.